call?
I think I got it. Do you want to check the on YouTube right now and see if that works? Start checking it. Unchip. Drop notes. Sorry. Yes. Nice.
Good morning, and thank you for attending the 80th Flying Training Wing Change of Command ceremony. I'm Captain Jacob Bernardi, and I'll be your narrator for today's event. Today we'll bid farewell to Colonel Brad E. Orgeron and welcome a new leader, Colonel Mitchell J. Koch. Our ceremony today is a celebration of both continuity and change. Continuity in the form of a military tradition whose roots reach back through time and the legions of ancient Rome, and change with the passing of sickness that once symbolized the transfer of command from one to another. As this great command says farewell to an honored leader and welcomes his successor through a ceremony that differs only in style, not substance, from those of the Romans. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is the 19th Air Force Commander, Major General Clark J. Quinn. This is an indoor event, and as such, there will be no covers or render salute. Please stand for the arrival of the official flight, and remain standing for the playing of ruffles and flourishes, the presentation of the colors by the Shepherd Air Force Base Honor Guard, the national anthem by Mrs. LaShawn Larkins, and invocation by Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Kelvin Francis.
Sir, I present the command.
Colors. Hope. Present. Arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, 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 and the rocket's red glare
on, Ms. Lark. Please join me for a moment of prayer. Most gracious Creator of all, thank you for the blessings of your presence and mercy that sustains us and keeps us. And I ask for your blessings today as we mark and celebrate this change of command. I give thanks for the women and men of this wing and all that they do in the support and the defense of the great people of this nation and our partner nations. I also give thanks for Colonel Orgeron and Miss Elizabeth, their hard work, tireless dedication, and people-focused leadership. Their devotion and care for airmen in this community is evident in each and every decision, and it's with a grateful heart I ask for your blessings to be with him and his family as he transitions to his next job, and a special blessing for Miss Elizabeth as she single-handedly orchestrates the pack out. Bless her, Lord, I pray. Father, I also ask for your blessings for Colonel Koch and Miss Amber. Give them wisdom, discernment, and guidance to lead and to care for the people in the processes of this wing and this community and our partner nations. Grant them strength and endurance for the journey, and your grace and your mercy to sustain them. Now bless us all, Lord, all the airmen of the 80th Wing. Keep us and sustain us by your watchful care. Look upon us with your favor, and grant us your peace and protection. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Thank you, Ms. LaShawn Larkin, Captain Francis. This time, we'd like to recognize our official party and their families. Commander, 19th Air Force, Major General Clark J. Quinn. Outgoing Commander, Colonel Brad E. Orgeron, his spouse, Elizabeth, and their son, Caleb. Incoming Commander, Colonel Mitchell J. Cope, his spouse, Amber, and their children, Nolan, Alasia, Micah, and Eden. The Command Chief, 19th Air Force Chief Master Sergeant Justin Aptekar. The Commander of Airmen today, 80th OG Deputy Commander Colonel Ryan D. Serrell and his spouse, Chrissy. The guidon bearer for today, the Command Chief, 80th Flying Training Wing Chief Master Sergeant William Ford, his spouse, Gina, and his children, Jacob and Layla. We'd also like to recognize some of our honored guests attending today's ceremony. Please hold your applause until all have been announced. Mayor of Wichita Falls, the Honorable Tim Short, 82nd Training Wing Commander, Brigadier George Dietrich, representing the 82nd Command Chief, Chief Master Sergeant William Bruns, 71st Flying Training Wing Commander, Colonel Charles Throckmorton, Gold Star family, Senior Master Sergeant retired Ronnie Gilbert and his wife Kay, City Councilor, District 5 of Wichita Falls, the Honorable Tim Taylor, City Manager of Wichita Falls, Texas, Mr. Darren Lankert, President of the Shepherd Military Affairs Committee and former Mayor of Wichita Falls, Mr. Glenn Barnum, the President of Midwestern State University, Mrs. Stacy Haney, and her husband, Scott. Thank you to all our special guests, friends and family, the official party, senior national representatives, Team Shepherd commanders and command chiefs, InJet country sponsors, M1 Support Services, the Military Officers Association of America, the Order of Day Dalians, and all the hardworking men and women of Shepherd Air Force Base. Today we pay tribute to Colonel Brad Orgeron as he relinquishes command and give honor to Colonel Mitchell Cook as he assumes command of the 80th Flying Training. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Commander, 19th Air Force, Major General Clark Quinn.
All right, good morning. Greetings to the men and women of the 80th Flying Training Wing. For the formation, even though it's not super hot and I don't plan on talking super long, please be at ease. All right, thank you for joining us today and celebrating this occasion. It's my first time here. I'm not here to do a change of command. This was going to be my initial first visit to this wing, and things just happened, timing worked out, and the right thing to do is to recognize Colonel Orgeron at this time. So I'm very fortunate that I was able to be here for this and to join all of you for this. It's an honor to be presiding at this change of command and to be able to spend time with the airmen here and also with the community that supported. Although I've never spent time here myself, the reputation of what NJEP is and what NJEP does is known across not only my Air Force, but across at least 14 partner nations' Air Forces. And it's also known by the community here that supports it. And I had the opportunity to join with the SMAC last night at an event. And I do want to thank you again for hosting that and for showing how much this wing and this mission means to the local community. I do want to offer a sincere thanks to Colonel Orgeron's family for bearing with another short notice assignment and change and move. So Elizabeth and Caleb, thank you for being here. It's already been mentioned that you'll be solely packing out. I know Skylar is off at college. Your encouragement, your support, especially during these last 2 years of command, almost 2 years, has not only enabled Brad's success, but has enabled the success of this wing and the mission. And ultimately, that's made our Air Force better and strengthened our country. So please join me in thanking that. Also want to take a few moments to thank and recognize the additional family members here. Narco, so I learned first names when we come here. Apparently, Narco's first name is Brad and your first name is Mitchell. I did not know that until listening. Narco did say that before we leave here, I'm going to meet his cousins as well. So thank you for traveling on such short notice to be here. I know there's many, many more in the extended family and other wings that are here joining. Just know that I appreciate your support. The Colonel Coates family, special thanks. Amber, I have not met you yet, so I'm meeting you from up here on the stage and your kids. So for Nolan, Micah, Alasia, and Eden, thank you for supporting Lucky up here on the stage, and I look forward to working with you and meeting you and getting to know you a little bit better over the next couple of months. So the narrator highlighted most of the distinguished visitors in the crowd. He probably missed one. I'm probably going to miss several. The bottom line is, if you chose to join us here today, I'm honored by it, and I'm sure that both Narco and Lucky are honored by it as well. For everyone involved in setting this up on very short notice, thank you. Some of them are really, really obvious, right? You got a commander of troops, you got a formation in front of you, you got a guide on bearer, you got somebody that's up here on the stage reading the script. What is less obvious is somebody actually took the time to type up that script. Somebody just briefed me on how to get around here. Somebody set the stage up. There's a lot of work that goes into setting up these change of commands. I won't be able to cover each and every one of them by name, but just know that it's important to me that it was done right, and it's important to the folks that are up here and the families that are here that it was done right, and I thank you for it. So for Air Education and Training Command, our mission is to find, recruit, train, and educate the airmen that this nation needs, our nation, the United States. Obviously, the 80th Flying Training Wing excels at all of those, whether you're a pilot trainee or a first-term airman. This wing is an example of how to do it right. Beyond that, it's an example of how to do it right for multiple partner nations that join us here in this mission. So we've got 1,700 personnel, a fleet of over 200 aircraft. It's the world's only internationally managed undergraduate pilot training program. It's not just the Air Force providing training, the United States Air Force providing training for our partners. It is a joint endeavor where we are all participating together to get the mission done. So for the 14 partner nations that are here, flying over 60,000 flying hours and training over 200 pilots per year. The wing is not only a starting point for this alliance, it forms the foundation of how NATO will interoperate in the air if or when we are called on to defend our respective homelands together. As has been mentioned, a change of command is a momentous event for everyone. It's an opportunity to thank the outgoing commander. It's a first chance to see the new commander up on the stage. And perhaps most importantly, it's an opportunity to reflect on the impressive accomplishments of the unit that they have been entrusted to lead. In other words, you. So it's my pleasure to acknowledge the exceptional work that was done by Narco during his time here. And I'm sure that when he gets the microphone away from me in just a minute, he's going to go, none of that was me, it was all you, but he can do that. For now, I'm just going to talk good things about him. So for almost 2 years, Narco has been making substantial contributions to that ATC mission that I talked about. I have no doubt that he is proud of the wing's accomplishments, and he should be. He's going to look back on this command tour as a truly rewarding assignment, and at the same time, Colonel Koch is joining us with a wealth of experience. He's no stranger to this mission, he's no stranger to this base, and he knows well the NJET's training mission. So Narco, during your time as commander of this wing, you've gone from one success to another. In partnership with the 82nd Training Wing, your host, your team accomplished the largest elephant walk in the history of the United States Air Force. And for those that don't know, you'll sometimes see pictures of 10 planes on the runway or 20 planes on the runway, huge formations of airmen. This one was over 80 aircraft and 4,000 airmen. There are not many places in this Air Force where we can still pull something like that off, and we did it here. In less than those 2 years, beyond just the pilot graduates, when we add in the IFF and other syllabi that you run, over 800 students. Your steadfast leadership, your focus on mission, airmen, and the community have enabled you to overcome countless challenges along the way. You handled them with an unwavering commitment, always keeping the mission and the care of your airmen in the forefront of your mind. You and your airmen did not let obstacles hinder your ability to train and graduate exceptional pilots. You embraced every challenge, found ways to turn them into opportunities. This included securing discounted medical care for our international partners in the local community and breaking down barriers to be able to share absolutely critical, though privileged, safety information with our international instructor pilots. It builds the trust with our partners, all while ensuring the 80th continues to create the best fighter pilots for the NATO alliance. Your impact is felt far beyond the front gate and into the community. You built, maintained a relationship with the community that is unmatched. Your team has established enduring relationships with 10 local schools, hosting more than 500 children on this base. You've inspired both children and adults through more than 100 aerial outreach events across the nation, showcasing American air power and the airmen that make it great. We often say that success breeds success. We were hoping to hold on to Narco for just a little bit longer. He would hope it would be the last change of command in 19th Air Force. Turns out it's the first, but he's going off to do a pretty lofty job. I'm not going to go through his whole duty description, but he'll be working directly for the Secretary of Defense. It's a nominative position. It's not just an assignment you get. It's one that your leadership nominates you for. It's filled by an 06, a colonel or a Navy captain. In the Department of Defense right now, there's over 20,000 06s. I'm not saying they all interviewed for the job, but out of those 20,000, there's only one that's going to the job, and that's Narco. So congrats to you. So, Narco, while you leave, you are leaving the wing in the capable hands of Colonel Lucky Koch. He's no stranger to this wing, he's no stranger to the mission. He graduated from Shepherd as a student in 2002. He's commanded the 88th Fighter Training Squadron in 2018, and most recently, he is and has been the Deputy Commander for the last year. He's already a large part of what has made this wing so successful, and now he will take on a slightly larger role as the commander. We know in advance that his time in command is going to be short, but there is no one better suited or more prepared or more capable to lead this wing through the transition of commanders. I told Lucky this a little while ago. We use terms like acting or interim, but the bottom line is I didn't use those terms at all. He's going to be the commander of this wing for the next couple of months. There's no preface to that. He is the commander, and that's why we're putting him on the stage right now to get this guy done. So congrats to both of you. Thanks to the 80th for hosting me and for the outstanding mission accomplishment rates, and it's time to make this official. So back over to the narrator.
Thank you, General. Before we move to the medal presentation to Colonel Orgeron, I'd like to give a brief history of the decoration being presented this morning. The Legion of Merit was established by an act of Congress on 20 July 1942. It was initially created for awards to civilians of other nations, and it is now conferred on individuals who have distinguished themselves by exceptionally meritorious conduct and the performance of outstanding service to the United States. The Legion of Merit is ranked directly below the Defense Superior Service Medal, making it the 7th ranking decoration in the Air Force. Awarded to both officer and enlisted, the Legion of Merit has been continuously upgraded since its inception. Currently, the recipient must occupy a position of great responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as General Quinn will now present Colonel Orgeron of the Legion of Merit.
Publish the order.
Attention order. The Legion of Merit is presented to Colonel Brad E. Orgeron. Colonel Brad E. Orgeron distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 80th Flying Training Wing, Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas. from 17 June 2022 to 8 March 2024. In this important assignment, the leadership, exemplary foresight, and ceaseless efforts consistently demonstrated by Colonel Orgeron resulted in significant contributions to the effectiveness and success of one of the world's only multinational manned and operated flying training wings. His operational expertise and unwavering support to wing personnel maintained the European North Atlantic Treaty Organization Joint Jet Pilot Training as a premier undergraduate flying training operation. Colonel Orgeron executed a $117 million annual operating budget that has resulted in a 60,000 flying hour program. Executing over 54,000 training sorties for 14 signatory nations, his leadership enabled the production of 307 undergraduate pilot training graduates, 195 instructor pilots, and 371 Introduction to Fighter Fundamentals graduates for the United States Air Force and our European allies. Moreover, Colonel Orgeron set the standard for aircrew instruction as it was assessed to be of exceptional quality amongst all undergraduate pilot training bases and resulted in a highly effective rating for executing the mission during the 2024 Air Education and Training Command Unit Effectiveness Inspection. Furthermore, he mentored 7 squadron commanders, deliberately developing future leaders who were recognized for generating command best practices in modernizing recruitment and accessions while engaging over 600 students and supporting 125 aerial events nationally. While seeking solutions to address critical shortages of fighter pilots, his proposals led to Global Strike Command selecting pilots from alternate rated paths, securing T-38 graduates for much needed fighter requirements. Finally, Colonel Orgeron demonstrated trust and confidence in our closest partners while securing Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force endorsement to provide international instructor pilots access to privileged safety information. The singularly distinctive accomplishments, outstanding leadership, and personal endeavor displayed by Colonel Orgeron reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Brad E. Orgeron, Commander, 80th Flying Training Wing.
Thank you very much again for the formation. Please be at ease. I wanted to thank first General Quinn. As he noted, we were not planning on doing this about a week ago, and it was through his direction that he wanted to make sure that we put together a full change of command to recognize Colonel Koch leading the wing for the next couple of months. And really it gives me an opportunity to thank all of our community partners, I see our squadron commanders, all of our senior national representatives, and key members, country sponsors are here. I see the JA team in the back that have been very helpful to me. But everyone in the auditorium, you'll notice we don't have too many flyers as we're still executing the mission today. So I appreciate the folks in formation, officer and enlisted, air crew, we've got RAPCON, ATC, but we're executing the mission right now, getting as much flying as we can before the weather rolls in this evening, so we can keep pushing those graduates out to the NATO countries. Wanted to thank, don't know where, there's Colonel Boystein. He shot me a quick note in the last meeting, but really awesome to hear that we now have a 32nd member of the NATO alliance as Sweden was accepted this morning. So, we had a good discussion this morning with our senior leadership about great power competition, but the greatest advantage we have is our friends and partners, and the NATO alliance is our operational advantage when it comes to any type of peer competition, and that all starts here. I want to go around and thank a few folks. First off, the hardest one, which my wife Elizabeth gave me direct orders last night that I shall not look at her, mention her, or acknowledge her accomplishments. And as any good wing commander, I lied through my teeth. So I'd like to give Elizabeth some flowers and a small gift. Caleb, I have a gift for you too, but it's an IOU. When we get to DC in a couple months, remember that great big Lego store?
Oh yeah.
You get to pick out whatever Lego set you want. with the Finney flight last week, and I had a chance to talk with a lot of the folks across the wing. And so I don't want to belabor a lot of things, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank Elizabeth. She's put in endless hours with the spouses. We have a lot of the group and command spouses from the 82nd side, the squadron spouses, the Shepherd Spouses Club, but she's put in a ton of time, and I know everybody really appreciates, so I won't look at you, but thank you so much. No, this is not the first time. This is about the third time that we've gotten short notice taskings, and every time it's an even better opportunity. When we found out we were coming here, Elizabeth had a knife in her hand, and she was still opening boxes as we were unpacking our house at Langley Air Force Base, and we got notified that we had been selected to take over command at Euro NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training. I immediately went outside and from a safe distance informed her of where we were going. So at least this time she didn't have a knife in her hand. But this is an awesome opportunity. Also, when I was the deputy wing commander at Kingsley Field in the dual status command role, just had gotten home from some other TDY and got notified I had 2 weeks to report to be the operations group commander for the EOG at PSAP. So Elizabeth and Caleb and Skylar have been troopers all along, and they are a key fundamental part of my life and making this happen. I couldn't have done any of these squadron, group, vice wing, deputy command, NJEP. You just make it fun, so thanks. Okay, I made it. More thank yous for the ceremony. To Andrea and Alita, it is awesome to have a protocol team. This is so hard to run this program with phenomenal lieutenants that try their very best but don't know anything about protocol. But for everyone that has worked in that department for the past 2 years, it has been a huge lift and done a phenomenal job. Lieutenant Data gave us the best wing command changeover briefing I've ever heard, so I know you studied it last night. So you put all this together, no kidding, about 7 days. It just shows it can be done. It doesn't need to take 3 or 4 months to figure all this stuff out. To Chaplain Francis, thank you for the prayer. To our national anthem singer, wherever Sean went, she is, there you are, phenomenal. So she's our military family life consultant. And while I talk about see Rolf over there, or Chaplain, or MIFLIC, or EO, or SARC, I think all of you are here. All of our helping support folks that take care of our airmen, our trusted agents, that thank you for being present and walking the hallways and talking with our folks and helping us deal with unprofessional, unproductive behavior so we can actually spend most of our time getting the mission done. You guys have been phenomenal, and I think we've really come a long way. But thank you all. Some other thank yous. I'm going to go through the room, and this is going to sound a lot like one of the graduation events, but I think it's important. To Mike and Bill here in the front row, I couldn't ask to work with a better maintenance team. You're both former Air Force maintenance backgrounds, and it's just been awesome to work with you guys. You mentioned it the other day. Yes, I treated you like my maintenance group commander. I was lucky to have a pretty large maintenance background at the squadron and group level, and you guys just made it easy. Thank you. Anytime I asked you a question you didn't have it, you had me the full answer with the research and analysis within a couple hours. And I really felt like we did a really solid job of pushing information up to the 4 and 19th Air Force and the other commands. So thank you so much for making this really easy and fun. And thank you for taking, I honestly believe we have the best maintenance in AETC. The crew chiefs are excited when we come out to the jets, and they really care about the quality product that they provide to our airmen. And I know that we're safe flying every single day, even if the airplanes were built in 1966. General Dietrich and General Drew, your predecessor, thank you so much for your support. We've had this conversation, and I am going to spend a lot of time on the phone with my replacement coming in from Korea. Lucky already knows this. We are blessed to have a great relationship between the 82nd and the 80th. That is not something to be taken for granted, and we're going to continue to work on that. And Lucky's in a good place. I know Kirk couldn't be here today. He's still recovering, So I hope he's manning up quickly and doing well. But Pam, thank you so much. You've been, along with Amber and all the other spouses, a huge support for Elizabeth, so thank you. Glenn, thank you with the SMAC. We got to see our congressional partners. We got Stacy from MSU. There's the Shepherd Military Affairs Committee. Thank you so much for the community support. We've done some really fantastic things, whether it was the engagement with Mrs. Brown when she came back for 5 and Thrive, but we're pursuing educational opportunities, potentially a CCAF direct to a bachelor's degree program through MSU. I'm really excited to see where that goes. Our collaboration with FC Dallas and highlighting our community. There's going to be a lot of more fun events with that. This community, there's a great relationship with the base, and we've mentioned this many times. Whatever is good for the community is good for the base. Childcare, healthcare, job opportunities, all the things that the SMAC, Ron Kitchens, the Chamber. This community is going places. This base is always going to be here, and we're going to continue to do things better. But thank you all for being here today. Our country sponsors in the back, I wanted to highlight you. General Quinn, I don't think has had a chance to meet many of you, but one of the unique things of this program is the country sponsor program. All 14 nations are representative, and each family brings in all of the international partners that are new to the Texoma region, invites them into their home throughout the year, shows them the Texas, Oklahoma culture, and really treats them as family. So they're a huge part of the community. So the Fergusons and everyone else, Martins, thank you so much for all your support in taking care of our international partners that are away from home in a very different, Texas is different than Europe. It's just different. And it's awesome. So thank you all for supporting this program, some of you for the entire 40 years. So you're part of the family. I want to come back up front. Ronna K. Gilbert, this is home. So, thank you for coming out yesterday. So I can't look at you guys either, but I will get through this. If you don't know the Gilberts, Trojan Gilbert Auditorium is, we named that after their son, who was an INJET graduate, about the same time that I went through Columbus Air Force Base. We're about the same age, roughly class 0102. Gold Star family members, Trojan gave up his life supporting troops in contact. And I believe it was Iraq, if I remember correctly. I will be going out to visit your son. I should have put a pin in my pocket to stab my leg. I will be visiting your son when I get to the Pentagon out at Arlington. So I will, and please, when you come out to Lay Reeds, give me a call. And I'll meet you there. Please continue to be a part of this wing. We'd love to see you out here. Lucky and Amber will continue to host you. But you are a huge part of this wing. We love you, your family, and every single one of the person in flight suits or in OCPs who are ready to do the job just as your son did. And thank you for setting that example. Okay. Okay. Thank you both very much. Big hugs to follow this. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up with a little bit more funny stories, and then I'll get off the stage. For the squadron commanders, it's been an amazing opportunity. I've tried to lead and kind of share stories of how I messed things up when I was younger in squadron command or in operational opportunities, even with the SNRs, and like, well, Marco messed this up doing this, so don't be like me. And so I like to tell leadership stories through things that I've learned from. Please always remember to use all the support organizations. Don't make leadership decisions in a vacuum. Use your peers, use your group and your wing leadership, talk things out. And you guys have, all the squadron commanders we have done a phenomenal job, and they've really developed quite a bit over the last 2 years. And I'm really looking forward to what they do in or outside of the Air Force. Colonel Voistein and Colonel Searle, it's been remarkable to work with both of you guys for the last 2 years. I'm also looking forward to see where things go, and I hope we stay in contact. Lucky you're taking command. This is an awesome wing and a tremendous opportunity, but it is in good hands. So what General Quinn was talking about, none of the accomplishment, I didn't do any of that. the wing did this. A lot of it started from the SNRs, just having an open conversation of what are your frustrations, what are you having a hard time with, what doesn't make sense, and actually just having an open, honest conversation with me that I can engage with General Wills, with General Quinn, with General Robinson, with the Secretary of the Air Force, with the Chief of Staff. One of the really unique things of the past 2 years is all of not only the DV visits from the other nations. I've never been in a wing that had the Chief of Staff of the Air Force visit, the Secretary of the Air Force visit, the ATC Commander visit twice. This is our second 19th. We've had the opportunity to elevate serious questions and concerns, and they heard us and they took action on it. You did all the work, and it all started with just open and honest conversation. So I hope thank you for doing all of that work and just giving me the right information to engage on your behalf. With that, I'm going to get off the stage, but I owe a couple more thank yous with Marty and KZ and Chief Ford and Gina, the front office camp. When we do interviews for positions, and we're going to swap out a few more folks, Ryder's here, Bone, Crypto. The primary question I have is, the atmosphere I want in the front office is I want you to make sure this is a fun place to come to work. And that's if I don't get along with you, if you're not going to have a good relationship with the group, with 19th Air Force, or you're not going to work with the staff, then I don't need you in the front office. And everyone I have up there is a team player. So thank you so much. I know I forgot some stuff. Throck, thank you for being here. It's been awesome working with Throck, Vapor, Tick. JJ before you was a huge help to me for my first 6 months. I gave you a personal cell. Lucky he has you in the speed dial. And then Chief Grooms, thank you for filling in for a few months. I've gone long enough. Thank you all. I'll turn it back over to the narrator and we'll close this thing out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Colonel Ortega. The men and women of the 80th Flying Training will now render their final salute to Colonel Ortega.
Wing attention. Present.
Thank you, Chaos.
Order.
From ancient times, militaries throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victory over the enemy, to honor comrades in arms, and to celebrate special occasions, such as the Change of Command. The Continental Army of the United States conducted the first official Change of Command ceremony in America. This is the basis from which present ceremonies are derived. Today, the primary purpose of a Change of Command ceremony is to allow subordinates to witness the formality of command change from one officer to another. Major General Quinn will now officiate the Change of Command as commander of the 80th, as the command of the 80th Flying Training Wing is officially passed from Colonel Orgeron to Colonel Cook. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the publication of the official. Attention order. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Number G-24-002, under the provisions of the Air Force Instruction 51-604, and effective 8 March 2024, Colonel Brad E. Orgeron relinquishes command of the 80th Flying Training Wing, Air Station and Training Command, Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, by order of Major General Clark J. Quinn, Commander, 19th Air Force. And effective 8 March 2024, Colonel Mitchell J. Cook assumes command of the 80th Flying Training Wing, Shepherd Air Force Base, Texas, signed Clark J. Quinn, Major General, Commander, 19th Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Mitchell J. Cook, Commander, 80th Flying Training Wing.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much to our distinguished visitors, Gold Star families, commanders, chiefs, senior national representatives, mayors, community leaders, family members, 82nd Training Wing mission partners, and the men and women of the 80th Flying Training Wing. Thank you very much for being here today. It's been a real privilege to return to the place where my flying career began in 2001 as a pilot training student. What an honor to have the opportunity to serve again as an interim wing commander in the very same wing. Amber and I are eager to continue building relationships and getting to know the people in this wing and the community even better over the remainder of our tour. I owe a great debt of gratitude to a lot of people for this opportunity. First, it was God who put the dream of flying in me as a child, and then opened doors and carried me and my family through the ups and downs of our journey in the career at this point, and I owe it all to him. Thank you to everyone who had a hand in putting this ceremony together so quickly. Tardy, you're doing a great job. Appreciate it. Shauna, as usual, amazing rendition of the national anthem. Chaplain Francis, thanks for the invocation. The Honor Guard are still here. They looked great. Thank you to the protocol team, Andrea, Alita, lieutenants, and Sonia and Tardy, who did a great job putting this together at such short notice. Chief Ford, your constant support, both on stage and off, I appreciate it. I'll certainly need it moving forward. And thank you to one and all for making this ceremony something special and definitely to be remembered. Major General Quinn, sir, I didn't expect to get this opportunity, but thank you for your trust and confidence. I don't take it lightly. Thank you for the opportunity to lead the wing until Colonel Schulman's arrival. And as Gerald Marks, the U.S. Air Force Academy Commandant, said, command is not a reward. It's not a prize, it's a privilege. It is a cherished honor and a sacred responsibility. And it will receive my full attention and my best efforts every single day. But our wing, as Narco said, is in a great place because of him and his family. Colonel Narco, Orgeron, and Liz poured their hearts and soul into this wing. They were caring for its people constantly, all the while caring for its mission. You probably didn't get to see a lot of it, but if you're a spouse, you may have gotten a glimpse, but Liz did an amazing job working behind the scenes constantly. She poured her heart and soul into this wing. And Narco, at the same time, worked tirelessly to strengthen partnerships. He did it within the wing, he did it between our NATO partners, across the installation, throughout the community, and I got to watch it over the last year, and it was an honor to see. He also inspired us to train NATO's fighter pilots despite significant resource challenges. And every step of the way, he found ways to do it while developing leaders the whole time to send them forth into our NATO alliance. He led through huge challenges with J-85 engine shortages for our T-38s and unprecedented supply chain issues for our T-6s as well, all the while pressing to find ways to maximize student pilot production and balancing the interests of 14 different nations. It was no small task, but he handled it as expertly and gracefully, all the while going above and beyond to care for others and to lift people up along the way. Narco, you aced the test. You can hand off the guide knowing that you and Liz left the wing in a much better place than you found it, so thank you. So I'm honored to pick up the baton and continue to press forward, leading the 80th Flying Training Wing and NJET team forward. I know we'll do a great job because we have the support of so many high-performing teams backing us. The first team I have to acknowledge is the one closest to me, and that's my family. If you've met her, you know I've got an amazing spouse who loves people. Her encouragement, enthusiasm, and support have enabled me to give 100% to my work. She's been an enthusiastic world traveler and an enthusiastic Air Force spouse through 13 moves. She loves the airmen and families we meet along the way, and she is the glue that holds our family together. I am so thankful for you. To our kids, you guys are pretty great too. Nolan, Alasia, Micah, and Eden, you guys have embraced the Air Force life as well with its events and ceremonies, First Fridays, Finny flights, jet noise, and jalapeno popcorn. I love you guys, and I appreciate the way that you've hung on through the many ups and downs, the many moves, and the many challenges. Life is about to get even busier, but I know we'll face them together as a family. We'll come out stronger on the backside. In addition to my family, another team we've got that's phenomenal is the best off-base team and community of any installation I've ever been at. This supporting team is made up of amazing country sponsors who welcome our international students and instructor pilots and make them feel at home from day one. It includes our local city leaders, business leaders, and university leaders from Wichita Falls and Burke-Burnett, who partner with us to support the mission, support our airmen, and support our families, all the while striving to make the local area a great place to live and work. We've also got outstanding support from the 82nd Training Wing led by Brigadier General Dietrich. And his team, they support our mission to advocate for things like funding for our runways and facilities, offering medical support, logistical support, defending the installation, and caring for our airmen, for all the helping agencies. We couldn't do it without you, so thank you. And finally, I know NJIP will continue to make strides moving forward because of the incredible team we have within the wing itself. We have the best cadre of multinational officers and instructors of any pilot training base. We have incredibly sharp and motivated enlisted members, dedicated and caring civilians with a wealth of experience, senior national representatives who care deeply about the quality of our program, and an incredible maintenance team that consistently outperforms maintenance teams at other pilot training bases despite huge challenges that come with maintaining an aging fleet. Working together, I'm convinced that we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. I'm looking forward to moving forward and making it happen. So with that, let's get after it.
Wing tension. Huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, the men and women of the 80th Flying Training will now render their first salute to Colonel Cook.
Present. Huh. Order. Huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing and singing of the Air Force song and remain standing as the official party departs.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder, and boys, give 'em the gun, give 'em the gun.
Hey!
Down we dive, spouting our flames from under, off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, we're down in flames. Hey! Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Thank you, everybody.
Dismissed.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's ceremony. Please join us for light refreshments in the foyer.